Welcome back, my duelist friends. Casual Duelist here, back in charge of the channel today. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed Celestial cracking packs yesterday. She had some pretty good pulls. Again, she's working on a Pokedex binder. If I saw the binder right, I think she pulled a shiny Pokemon. Somebody confirm that for us. Today's deck, however, is going to be part of the advanced format. This comes from local duelist Phil, and it's actually his physical deck. He brought it over and he said, hey, show everybody how to play Floowandereeze. So yeah, we're going to give you guys a Floowandereeze deck today. And I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. It's Floowandereeze. And I'm just going to call them by their secondary name, whoever's with. And again, I'm not too sure the size of the deck. There's one card I would absolutely cut out of here. You guys can give him any advice that you have as well at the end. So, no further ado, deck list, let's go. 3 copies of Robina, and this feels like the perfect starter in this deck. So, a lot of these small birds have the effect that if it would leave the field, banish it. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn and cannot special summon during the turn that you activate either. If this would be normal summoned, you may add a level 4 lower winged beast from the deck to the hand. Then immediately after this resolves, normal summon 1 winged beast monster. So again, we're going to normal summon like crazy. Second, if a winged beast monster is normal summoned to your field while this card is banished, which again, it's going to banish itself as soon as it leaves, then you can add this card to your hands. And again, a lot of them are going to share that last portion too. It's going to be a little bit different when each one is summoned as to what they do. So Robina is going to grab from deck. Next, we're going to get 2 copies of Elglin, which is clearly this Eagle Cool character here. Again, if would leave face up or face up would. Let me try that one more time. If this face-up card would leave the field, banish it instead. Each of the following effects once per turn, and cannot special summon during the turn that you activate either. If normal, add 1 level 7 or higher winged beast from deck to hand. Then immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon 1 winged beast monster. If a winged beast monster is normal summoned to your field while this is banished, add to hand. So again, 1 search is high, 1 search is low. Elglin is, or Elgin, is just a little bit less necessary since there's only a handful of the higher level ones that you want to search for, at least in this version. Then we're going to have 2 copies of Token, which is our Toucan. If would leave field while face up, banish instead. Each effect once per turn, cannot special summon when you activate either. If normal summon, target 1 banished Floowandereeze card, add to hand. Now, pause. It did say card, it didn't say monster, spell, or trap. Any or all of the above are valid targets. Add that card back to your hand, then immediately after this resolves, guess what? Special summon a winged beast, which is weird, because normally these were, or no, sorry, I messed up. It's behind the little Ultra Pro. It does say normal summon. So I messed up. Normal summon, and if a winged beast is normal summoned to the field while this is banished, this gets added back to the hand. So again, you get a lot of birds real quick when you're playing this deck. One of the last couple Floowandereeze, we're going to have Stree being our ostrich character. If would leave field while face up, banish. Each effect once per turn, cannot special during the turn that you activate either. If normal summon, target a card in either graveyard, banish it. Then immediately after resolution, normal summon 1 winged beast. If a winged beast monster is normal summoned to the field while this is banished, add to hand. Feels a lot like Retiari from Gladiator Beasts. Again, kind of a good one to have at 1. And last Floowandereeze is going to be Empen. 2 copies. And again, I'm not gonna read this. This is going to be about 10 stars. Judging from that. If this is tribute summoned, you can add 1 Floowandereeze spell trap from the deck to the hand, and immediately after this resolves, normal summon a monster. No longer requires it to be a winged beast. While this tribute summoned card is in a monster zone, your opponent cannot activate the effects of special summon monsters they control in attack position. Once per battle, during damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent's monster, as a quick effect, you may banish one card from your hand. That opponent's monster current attack and defense become half until the end of this turn. So again, MPen sort of keeps itself around a little bit. If I read that right, again, we are banishing a card from the hand. So as long as we normal summon and it was a Floowandereeze, we're going to get that card back. So it's just going to feed directly into its own strategy. It's good stuff. Moving on to his tech monsters. I definitely approve of Mega Chicken here. We get the Mist Valley Apex Avian. This is going to be a 7-star. So this should be searchable through our 1 effect. Once per chain, when a card or effect is activated as a quick effect, you may target one Mist Valley card that you control and return it to your hand. If you do, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy the card. So again, this is just going to continually bounce. You're going to cycle this one card. And it's really easy to do because every time you normal summon one of these guys, you're going to immediately get an additional normal summon. So you're basically just going to end on Avian. And that's your big setup. Additionally, he is running 1 copy of Ryza the Mega Monarch. And again, this is going to be like an 8-star. So again, searchable because it is Winged Beast. It is 7 or more. You can tribute this by tributing 1 tribute summon monster card. So again, we could get away with tributing Empen for this or the Avian if we wanted to. If this card is tribute summoned, target a card on the field and 1 card in either graveyard. If it was tribute summoned by tributing a wind attribute monster, you can target an additional card on the field. Place the original first 2 targets on the top of the deck in an order of your choosing, and then return the additional target, if any, back to the owner's hand. So this will allow us to go ahead and cycle stuff from our own discard pile. Again, we do run a lot of wind attributes. This is going to be perfect. And it's good to spin and essentially seal cards onto the top of the deck and like dead draw the opponent for a turn or 2. So again, Ryza doing pretty good stuff. Moving into his hand traps. He is main boarding 3 copies Shifter because, again, with the whole banish mechanic and just being able to get everything back, doesn't really matter. And then, of course, 3 Ash Blossom because Ash Blossom is, of course, just very generically, like, it just hits everything. So, not a huge deal here. Moving into the spells. And again, so far, I'm like 100% on board with this deck list. It's not until we get to the traps that I have my issue. Moving into the spells, we're going to be playing 3 copies of the field spell, Floowandereeze, and the Magnificent Map. So, the way this one works, during the main phase, you can reveal 1 level 1 Floowandereeze monster in the hand and banish 1 Floowandereeze card with a different name from the deck. Again, as long as it's a monster, we know we're going to get that in recursion. Then immediately after this, normal summon the revealed monster, which of course, again, is going to let us get the other card to our hand. If your opponent normal summons a monster, immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon 1 Floowandereeze monster. You can use each effect once per turn. So again, just good stuff. We're going to have the search spell. It's going to be Floowandereeze and the Advent of Adventure. I'm going to run the full play set there. It is quick play. The effect, banish 1 winged beast from the hand or face up on field. Add 1 Floowandereeze monster or field spell from deck to hand. Then gain 500 life. Activate 1 of these per turn. So again, it's good. We're not really going to be out the cards for too long. A card I would have liked to have seen another copy in would have been the Floowandereeze and Unexplored Winds. Now, I do get that since this is searchable, it's really not necessary at more than 1. And again, we don't do too much in the way of tributes, but the way this works, you can conduct tribute summons that require 2 tributes by sending a monster that you control and a card the opponent controls. I need you to full stop again. Again, if it states card, this could be their field spell. This could be a continuous spell trap. It could be a set spell trap. Card's a card is a card. And it does not need to be a monster. So I just need you to know that. I'll start this over again. When you can conduct tribute summons that require 2 tributes by sending a monster you control in 1 card the opponent controls to the graveyard instead of tributing, and it will still be considered to be a tribute summon. During the main phase, you can reveal up to 2 winged beasts in your hand, place them on the bottom of your deck in any order, and then draw cards equal to the number of cards that you placed. This is an effect that is once per turn. So again, it kind of feels like Card Trader, giving us the momentary advantage to kind of dig and find what we need. At least for M-Pen and Ryza, this makes it much easier to play them. And again, if we are using Ryza and we do send a wind, we do get that triple disruption. And sometimes that's just enough to break an entire board right there. So that's cool. Continuing, we're going to be using 3 copies, Pot of Duality. We don't special summon, guys. For the most part, we do not special summon. Because we do not special summon, we can go ahead and excavate the top 3, add 1 to hand. Again, the big drawback here is that you wouldn't be able to special summon during the turn. This is a deck that just does like tons of normal summoning. If you know how to normal summon, which is something we teach players on day 1, this is an okay deck. It's not that expensive. You are going to run 1 prosperity. A warning. Most of your extra deck is sort of junk. There are cards that you can play. There are a lot of cards that you can't play. So just keep that in mind. We are going to carry the single terraforming. Terraforming again. Sometimes we don't want to waste our searcher on the field spell. This is basically like having like 7 field spells. Because you have the 3 copies of the field spell, 3 copies of the tutor, and then of course terraforming. This is just going to help you in the long run. We want to play Called. Called is going to go ahead and help us stun out the opponent. Let us continue with our plays. Geki. Geki's a good card. Just going to go ahead and bop the opponent's side of the field real quick. And that was it for the spells. Moving into the traps. And I gotta say, the first one's probably my favorite. It's just so fun. Is the Harpy's Feather Storm. So Feather Storm is just one of these really cool things. If you were to control a winged beast, which of course we're going to the end of the turn, negate any monster effects the opponent activates. If you were to control a Harpy monster, then you could activate this from the hand. If this card in its owner's spell trap zone is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you could add a Harpy's Feather Duster from the deck or the graveyard to the hand. It does feel like, Phil, we could maybe find the room for a Harpy's Feather Duster. It is totally legal right now. In fact, if you give me just half a second, I'll come over here to the other table I've got down here. And I've got a spare copy, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in your deck box. And then you just do what you do with that, my friend. It is going to be searchable, technically reusable, and potentially reusable like 3 times if they manage to pop this every time. But I do love the full stun effect. I do think that is great. Keep going with it. On topic, you do have 1 Floowandereeze and the Dreaming Town. This is pretty cool. During the main phase, immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon a level 4 lower winged beast monster. If you tribute summon a level 7 or higher monster while this card is in the graveyard, you can banish this. Change all monsters the opponent controls to face down defense. You can use this effect once per turn. Again, a couple things to note. This is never going to work on Lynx. Lynx don't have a defense position because they don't have a defense value. So that's never going to work on them. I do think with Xyz, this means they drop materials. Because they're a face-down monster now. Face-down cards don't exactly have the ability to hold materials. But basically, it's another way to just stun the board. And just go ahead and get some attacks off. Plus, again, cards are generally weaker in defense. Rounding up the rest of the deck, we got 3 impermanents. This doesn't really need to be spoken on. And then the card I would replace, my friend, is there can be only 1. This is a good floodgate, but not for you. Each player can only control 1 monster of each type. If a player controls 2 or more of the same type, they must send they must send some to the graveyard. So they control no more than 1 per type. This deck is very tight to the winged beast typing. I think this is probably one of those things, like if you were to play it, we would need to have more than just Floowandereeze in here. Because again, this is like an Achilles heel. Like, this is definitely exploitable. I don't know why it's in here. Anybody who's got an idea, like Rivalry of the Warlords would be much better for you. I don't know. I'm not gonna complain too much. I guess maybe it's for like extra deck plays on turns you don't do Floowandereeze stuff. But whatever. Take a second real quick, guys. Get the screen cap or pause and make the notes, and I will be back with the extra. And believe it or not, he made a side deck, so we're gonna give you guys a side deck as well today. Just a moment. All right, real quick, the extra deck. And again, I'm assuming a lot of the extra deck for this fill was just because you had Prosperity in here somewhere. There it is. I did notice that you had some Super Poly targets, but you didn't put Super Poly anywhere in here. Good cards in the extra deck, I guess, was just you taking up space. You got an Inferno Wing Backfire in here. Greedy Venom Fusion Dragon. Guardian Chimera, which is actually really good for like a Super Poly target because it's just 3 monsters with different names. It's not too bad. Mud Dragon of the Swamp, and I love that you got like the collector's rare like ultimate thing that looks nice. Starving Venom, clearly like a good card, and your Wizard of Tomorrow. Now technically these 6 might be your 6 targets for Prosperity, just because you know you can't use them. Okay. And this might be why you did this. You didn't actually tell me. You just kind of dropped off the deck and said, figure it out. And I did my best. You do have a couple of synchros in here. And again, I don't think that outside of Ash, anybody was a tuner unless I just missed it. So just Ash, which means you have a 3-star tuner to make some plays. And we got an 8-star, and we've got a 10-star. So I don't think you can make either of these, realistically. You might be able to. Stardust Chronicle Spark, and I'm not going to go and read all of that because it must be synchro summoned. So if you're not synchro summoning, it's kind of useless in here. White Aura Whale, again, this is like water tuner and non-water tuners. You don't have a water tuner, so there's no real point for this to be in here. And I mean, with Prosperity over Extravagance, it's not randomized. So there was kind of no reason to really include these two. Going to your Xyz, I saw some plays here. You did include Divine Arsenal Zeus, which is fine. Zeus helps you step off of other things. I'm not sure that you could play Downward Magician without spellcasters, so I don't know what you're doing there, bud. You did have 2 copies of Kikinagashi Fuko, which is a Little Wing Beast, rank 1, 2 level 1s. It's a 0/0. Unaffected by the card effects, and then once per turn quick effect, you may detach 2 materials from this card. For the remainder of this turn, it cannot be destroyed by battle, and you take no battle damage from attacks involving this. It's kind of cute. You can make it. There are enough level 1s. There's just no there's no call for that play. And again, I don't think you had enough 4s for Utopia or Tornado Dragon. I'm going to go through this one more time. Just 1, like 10, 7, 8, 6s, 3s. So like Kikinagashi and Divine Arsenal Zeus, that's like, those are your plays in the extra deck. You also had an Underclock Taker, which is kind of cool. I do like these cards. Once per turn, you target a face-up monster that it points to, and one monster the opponent controls. The opponent's monster loses attack equal to the one that it was pointed to. So again, if you were able to point this to like Ryza or something, what would he lose? Like 2,800? Yeah, 2,800. That's okay. Avian would mean a loss of 27. Empen would be a loss of 27. Anything else is kind of futile. The extra deck really doesn't matter, guys. I don't know any good way to explain it to you. So the extra deck must just be fodder. There was no, like I said, no, what am I trying to say? Super polymerization. If there was super polymerization, some of these fusions would make sense. But there was not. So not 100% sure what was going on there. But the side deck is actually not bad. 3 Drollin Lockbirds. Again, game 2, game 3. This is pretty premium. To continue with the stun effects, 3 Veilers, and to stun builds, 3 Nibiru. This is actually pretty common standard fare. We're also rocking 3 Cosmic Cyclones and 3 Dimensional Barriers. Now, I do think that maybe Cyclone could be better. I do know that it's a target banish, so things that have like destruction protection, it's worth the 1,000-point investment. And Dimensional Barriers also not a terrible trap card. You declare a type of monster card between Ritual Fusion, Synchro Xyz, or Pendulum. And again, this was put out before Links, really. For the remainder of the turn, neither player can special summon the declared type and also negate the effects of all monsters of that type while they're on the field. Which is, again, fine. It's part of the stun package. I do understand it. I do think that the side is better than the extra deck. That's just me. I would have filled this with Links. I probably would have placed some Super Polys somewhere. And I'll probably put in that Feather Duster, bud. Anybody else who's got any advice for my friend, go ahead, join the discussion in the comment section below. After today, we are picking the winners, the winner of the Just Say No deck. So again, if you're looking to get like a last minute entry on that, just go find this deck video and simple, just leave a comment. Today is the last day. Tomorrow we will be discussing who is going to win it. We will let you guys know on Saturday with the speed duel video. I know we were going to do it on Thursday. We figured we wanted to really go over the comments because we're not sure that it's not going to blow up after this. You know what I mean? So do us the favors, guys. If you did enjoy this, like, comment, sub, do the stuff, support us. If we didn't earn it today, don't do it, obviously. But do me one favor regardless, guys. Go have a wonderful day. I want you guys to take care of yourselves. I need you guys to know that you're worth it. You guys are worthy of self-respect and the respect of others, okay? Go out and be the best you that you can be today. And don't worry what anybody else has to say, all right? See you next time.